The Wii is one of Nintendo's greatest consoles, and my personal favorite, but you gotta admit, it has a lot of random games. It has solid titles for sure, but the majority of games on the system are pretty random.
So in honor of all the Wii's random games, I decided to take a look at them. So let's get started. Damn it!
The first game we're gonna look at is Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension. In Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension, you play as a wide array of characters, including Ferb and Phineas, Ferb, Phineas, and Ferb. A lot of Phineas and Ferb in this game. Now, the best way to describe this Phineas and Ferb game is that it's a Phineas and Ferb game. The plot of the game is the same plot as in the movie. You grow across the second dimensions to stop the evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz. And one thing I like about the game is the different worlds you'll go. You'll go through worlds like your normal town, except it's covered in gelatin, to a cartoony old-time place that reminds me of old Mickey Mouse cartoons, and that's a really nice touch. The gameplay is pretty simplistic. It's like an action game where you have a lot of weapons. You can also build stuff too, showing the boys' epic craftsmanship, and the gameplay is actually pretty fun. Even though I joked about Phineas and Ferb being main characters, there are other characters you can play as too, like Agent P and other characters. So the game does have a wide array of characters, and the weapons you choose all do amazing stuff. So that's why I think this game is actually pretty good. Is it the best game I've ever played? Not really. And the game can get pretty repetitive considering you just do the same things over and over again. But the game is pretty short, so I think it's an alright experience. So after looking at this Disney game, I thought the next game would be also alright, but I was wrong. The next game we're looking at is Epic Mickey.
Who would have thought the words epic and Mickey would go together so well?
Now, when I first heard about Epic Mickey, I was expecting a pretty light-hearted game, but the game is surprisingly dark in terms of its themes and lighting. I mean, can you even see the footage I'm showing you? Jokes aside, the game is actually pretty fun. You play as Mickey Mouse in a 3D collectathon, and the gimmick is that you have this paintbrush. Basically, you have two paints, a blue paint and a green paint. The blue paint brings back erased objects into existence, and the green paint erases it. This gimmick is used in puzzles and action sections, and it's pretty good. The gimmick is used in a lot of fun and creative ways. Also, this game is just so good to look at. For a Wii title, it has pretty good graphics. The aesthetic of the game is nice and eerie and dark, and it reminds me of old Looney Tunes cartoons. Or old Mickey Mouse cartoons as well. And of course, the characters you interact with are pretty fun as well. The game overall is a pretty solid title. Many people consider it the best Disney game. I mean, it's good, that's for sure. I don't want to call it the best Disney game. Still, it's a really fun and enjoyable experience on the Wii that I'm glad I've experienced for myself. But enough of Disney, let's talk about Sega. Sonic Colors was a Wii exclusive game that features Sonic back in the boost formula that was originally established in Sonic Unleashed. The game is overall a pretty fun Sonic game. After Unleashed with its lukewarm reception, people were a bit skeptical of the upcoming Sonic game. But this game was pretty much a breath of fresh air. Sure, it still retained the same boost formula, but the tone was lighter and had lesser characters overall. It made the story simpler, and the gameplay has actually been really fun. You play as Sonic in boost levels, obviously. You get to boost when you get a lot of energy and stuff. You get to go around enemies, and the level design is fun and creative. But you have the sweet gimmick of the Wisp. These Wisps are little aliens that you get in capsules, and once you get them, you have gimmicks like drilling, or laser beams, or even turning into a freaking beast, and that's pretty cool. This game isn't perfect. There are a lot of levels in zones, which means that levels you play are pretty short, and also there are a lot of 2D sections in the game. I guess the developers couldn't think of a lot of creative ways to move Sonic in a 3D space, so they took it back to basics. And I'm not saying the 2D spaces are bad, in fact they're really creative levels, but I wish they expanded more of the 3D gameplay. And also, the Wisp, while pretty cool, don't really add that much. It's just another way of making Sonic go fast. Still, I think Sonic Colors is a pretty good Sonic game, and one of my personal favorites. It's fun, it's energetic, it's colorful, and it's just plain old Sonic. Simple and sweet.
So far, all the Wii games we've talked about are pretty good. But come on, it wouldn't be a Wii video without talking about Mario. No, not that one. No, not that one. Yeah, that one.
Mario Party 8. This game is either considered the best Mario Party game, the last good Mario Party game, or the first bad Mario Party game. This is one of the very few Mario Party games I've actually played. Besides that, I played the first game and the second game, and not much more. To me, this game is a pretty fun experience. You play as Mario in a party. You go through these boards, you have a die, you walk around, standard party game stuff. It's basically like Monopoly, but with Mario characters. If you get a lot of coins, you get the opportunity to get stars. And after playing a round of all characters, you get split into mini games. These mini games can be arranged with 4 players, 2 players, 1-on-1, all that fun stuff. These games are pretty fun and solid. None of them I can call amazing. Even the boards I wouldn't call amazing, but still pretty fun. Now, the gimmick of this game that makes it different from other Mario Party games is the candy. After getting a certain amount of coins, you get the opportunity to buy some of these candies, and these candies can give you cool abilities, like getting an extra die roll, or even transforming into things like a vampire or a freaking ball. Just look at him go. Still, even with all the stuff this game has, I still think that Mario Party 8 is just an okay game. I would even consider this and Epic Mickey to be in par with each other in terms of quality. But then, what Wii game would be considered better than Mario Party 8? Mario Party, Wii Party, Wii Party, Wii Party. Wii Sports! That's right, I think that Wii Party is better than Mario Party. For one thing, you get to play as yourself, or at least something that looks like yourself in the game. Second of all, I think that the quality of this game is way better than Mario Party 8. For starters, you get so much variety in this game. Besides just a simple board game, you also have these mini games. And yes, Mario Party also has mini games, but you get to select these mini games on your own. You don't need to play the board game. And even the board game, while being similar to Mario Party, has its own differences that make it so unique. Besides the traditional board games, there's also this cool one where you get to travel the world and stuff and get these cards. It's just so good. And of course the music. This soundtrack is incredibly underrated. I just love it. It's so nostalgic and catchy and poppy. It's basically on par with Wii Sports in terms of the music. And of course, the graphics of this game look more colorful and appealing than Mario Party 8 did. And that's why all of these things make Wii Party so much better than Mario Party. Now, what did we learn at the end of the day? The Wii had a lot of random games. But even though it had such a random amount of games, that doesn't mean the Wii is any bad. In fact, I think it makes the Wii better than its competition. Because of all these random games, it really made it stand out and really showed that the Wii was for everybody. Anyone could pick it up, and any game that it had, somebody would like it. And that's why the Wii is the best console of all time.
Well, it was really nice talking about the Wii, but there is only one question I have to ask. What the hell happened to my Wii controller? Seriously, every time I talk about the thing I have this PlayStation, where the hell did it go?